Up, everybody? In today's video, we will be talking about why most people carry last year into this year. Welcome back to the video, you guys. Once again, don't forget to like, make sure you guys share, and make sure you guys leave a comment on the video because the YouTube algorithm loves that, you guys. And this is something that I can do for my personal clients and for people that are looking for more holistic coaching, more high-level coaching. And while I'm sipping on some cinnamon tea, we'll be talking about this, and we'll be talking about what's on people's minds right now, right? A lot of people right now, after the holidays, like getting ready for the new year, a lot of people are feeling regret from the year, right? A lot of people are feeling that guilt. A lot of people are telling themselves, like, I should have done more, right? That quiet anxiety about repeating the same cycle, right? From this year to last year, right? But I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath with me and understand that you are at the right place at the right time in your life, right here, right now. So go ahead and take that deep breath with me. And if you're sipping some tea, go ahead and sip your tea with me real quick. Intentional breathing and also sipping tea has been scientifically proven to elongate your life, to lower stress, lower cortisol in your body. So that's why I continue to sip on some amazing tea. It could be cinnamon, it could be peach, it could be ginger, it could be whatever tea. But I'm always intentional about that because a lot of people don't need motivation, right? A lot of people need closure, right? A lot of people have traumas built up past tension in their bodies, right? They have these pains that are just lingering on, right? Listen, you can't move on to the new year with holding on to last year's problems, right? And one of the things that I did just recently, right, because I'm a forever student, right? I'm a seeker of knowledge, right? Whatever I'm learning, I'm always teaching and improving. I'm not just saying something, I'm doing it also myself. But shout out to Billy Carson because one of the meditations were just imagine yourself and you're imagining these strings from your mind, your throat, your heart, your gut, your body, right? These strings that are connected to bad habits, these things that are connected to people, these things are connected to devices, and you're seeing this energy just drain you, right? And you're gonna visualize through your mind's eye, uh, machete coming out and just going all around you, right? And cutting all those cords that no longer serve you, right? Gradually, right? Even in the moment, like depending on how strong your visualizations are, you'll start to feel a little bit lighter. You'll start to feel a little bit more clearer because you're cutting away all that negativity and you're calling back your power. So I want you to also, once you're done with this, command back the power that was taken away from you throughout this whole 2025 to make 2026 your best year yet. So I want you to repeat affirmations like this. I call back all my power that was taken from me this year. I command my highest self to lead my decisions. I command clarity in my health journey every single day. I command peace over myself, over my relationships, and over everything in my life. Whenever you speak over yourself, and you got to do it specifically to yourself, we're seeing in science that your own voice can activate your own cells. So, with that being said, it's very powerful. In the Bible, it says life and death is in the tongue, right? Basically, how you're speaking to yourself, your own positive self talk, your own negative self talk is going to create the person that you are becoming currently right here, right now, right? So we're not talking about going to the gym, losing weight, gaining muscle, or even energy. We're talking about the mental aspect of the issues that you can solve yourself or you can hold on to yourself going into 2025, right? So just some core teachings that I just want to touch on also. Your nervous system doesn't reset just because the calendar does, right? You have to be super intentional to reset your nervous system because a lot of times our minds can take us back into the past or even into the future instead of being in this very present moment right now. And our minds can trick us because yeah, we have the plan, we have the vision for ourselves, but our body is holding on. Our body's holding on to all the trauma, all the shame, all the unresolved pains and issues that need to be taking place to make ourselves better, right? So carrying that unresolved stress is just equaling the repeated patterns in your life, right? So if you can identify, right, the stress, the pain, the traumas in your body and start doing the inner work, right, to not to carry this trauma, this pain into the new year, then you're already on the right track. You don't have to wait for January 1st to start healing that inner trauma for yourself. Let's touch on some coaching points real quick. I want to talk about learning versus self-judgment, right? A lot of times when we're going through life, right, I want you to understand when you're setting these New Year's resolutions to yourself, don't make them so big, don't make them so grand, right? A lot of times people that want to lose weight or gain muscle, you'll write something, I'm gonna show up into the gym every single day, right? Then you miss one day, then what? Right? You don't make it, right? You start falling off. But you have to understand that this is self-judgment to yourself because one, you're putting something so grand, so high out there, right? But you have to understand that you're having this experience in life. You're learning from what you can do, what you can't do, right? It's not necessarily about setting it and making sure you do it. It's more necessarily like, what can I learn from this? Right? What's the lessons that I took from this that I can implement into my life? Because I'll tell you right now, there's no one size fits all for every single person, right? Like you can give 100 people the same workout plan, and 80% of people could fall off of that. 10% of people can stay consistent on that for about 3 months, right? Then fall off. Then actually 10 more percent of that of people will actually stay consistent on that, right? It's just the stats, it's just how stuff goes. But when we talk about specialized training, specialized programs, right, that are actually diving down deep, questioning, asking yourself those tough questions, right? Where do I feel the pain of 2025 this year? If 2025 was a pain in my body, right? Where would it be in my body? Would it be in my mind? Would it be in my chest? Would it be in my heart? Would it be in my stomach? Right? Would it be in my gut? Like, where would that be for yourself? Right? Then understand that you have to close these mental and emotional loops, right? What does closing these mental emotional loops look like? Closing these mental emotional loops look like doing the inner work, doing your journaling, doing the meditations. If you can't do it yourself, there are things called guided meditations on YouTube. You can do a guided meditation and have a walkthrough of the healing, right? And if you had never done that before, I highly encourage you to try it out because one, it's like almost an instant reaction of how you feel based off of that meditation. A lot of people they overthink these things, right? I don't want you to overthink these. I just want you to start and do it for yourself. The best thing you could do for yourself before going into 2026 is sit in stillness and listen to your body, right? Become completely aware of your breath, your heartbeat, right? Your gut health, right? Everybody wants to shut off their brain during meditation, but your brain's not shutting off, right? Your brain and your body are continuously going whether you want them to or not, right? Until death do, death does us apart, right? But I also wanted to talk about a little bit AI and how AI can bridge this because if you're somebody that isn't healing this trauma, right, and you're using AI is amplifying the patterns, right? The good patterns and also the bad patterns. So you have to ask yourself and get clear on what you really want, right? A lot of people are saying they want this body, right? Then they get this body, but then what? They end up gaining all the weight back or not going to the gym again, right? And when they do this, they're in a cycle of self self sabotage, beating themselves up, right? So understand that if your inner system is chaotic, technology is going to multiply that, right? So I want you to have clarity because when you have clarity, clarity is better than actual speed, right? It doesn't matter how fast you get there. It just matters about how clear your plan is for you to get there, right? if you're not consciously closing 2025, it will quietly live in your 2026, right? So I want you to understand, I don't want you to train harder in 2026. I want you to recover better. I want you to be more intentional about your body, right? Because your body is not the same. It's not in the same chapter that it was last year. Like this next year's chapter for me is going to be chapter 28 in my life. And for me, being who I am, I want to continue to serve people at a high level, right? And I continue want to help out as many people as I possibly can, right? Raise their consciousness, lead themselves back to themselves, right? Because that's what I'm really doing. I'm leading you back to yourself, your highest version of yourself, right? And I don't want you to get stuck. I don't want you to get stuck in a mental or emotional loop that is going to keep you there, right? Because our minds as human beings, we're either in the past or we're in the future. We're usually never here presently in this present moment right now, right? And it's a challenge for a lot of people to be present, especially in this digital age where we can hear a text or notification go off on our phone, right? Then our attention span is like, oh, here's Instagram, oh, here's TikTok, or here's Facebook, right? Oh, I got to reply back to this message, I got to reply back to this email. Then you're like, well, shit, damn it, I forgot. Like, I'm supposed to be doing what I told myself I was going to do. Oh, let me go send off this email. Oh, let me make sure I do this workout, right? Let me make sure I go read this book, right? So I want you to have clarity. If you are struggling, if you are bringing something from last year into this year and you're you don't know how to create that closure for yourself, that's your first step. Create that closure for yourself, right? And for a lot of people it's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, you guys, and I get it. I get it. I'm here with you, I feel you. Like, working at the hospital, you see death every single day, right? And I learned to have a different relationship with death. I used to be scared of it, but now I'm just like, it's one of the circles of life. But the hardest part about death is just like, wow, when a 4-month-old baby, which happened just yesterday, comes into the ER and ends up doesn't making it, it's just like, wow, like, why is that? Why is that? And I'm not giving too much information, right? And but it's just like, wow, like that baby didn't have a chance, right? But you look at this other person is 75, right? They had not so good health, right? They had a full life of opportunities left and right? And they died early, right? They didn't take care of themselves. A lot of this stuff is preventable, right? And in our mainstream, we're not teaching the preventable tips and tricks, right? It's more like, let's put a band-aid on it. You come over here, let's make sure we do this instead of saying like, hey, go outside, right? A lot of things that should be on your New Year's resolution should be things that help you get clear, help you stay in alignment with your highest version of yourself. And right, what we eat is 80% of the battle when it comes to your results. What are you drinking? What are you eating on the daily basis? Is your meal plan locked down, right? Because if you lock in for the year of 2026, this is going to be the best year of your life, right? But all you got to do is lock in, right? We have this day, we have the whole month, depending on when you're watching this, you have this time right now to actually realize, wow, I have time. I have an opportunity of a lifetime to make the best life I possibly can be for myself, right? And the best life looks like making these micro decisions, making sure not even waking up early, but starting the night before and getting the proper amount of rest, right? Are you sleeping? What type of sleep are you getting, right? Is your body actually in that REM sleep, or are you fighting in your sleep? Are you even dreaming, right? Then waking up early, right? Making sure you're getting a head start on the day, right? Having that set alarm to make sure I go to sleep at this time, I wake up at this time, right? And I get it. It's not going to work out every single day, but when you stay consistent on it and you start stacking up these little micro atomic habits, right? You start realizing like, wow, not only do I feel great, not only do I feel better, but I also start seeing results in my life from my mental health, from the physical health, right? And from just these small changes around me, right? So it's not about, right, necessarily the result of getting that physical body, but it's more of understanding that there are certain algorithms and there's loops currently right now in your body that are either progressing you forward in life, helping you get the life that you want, or they're holding you stuck in a past feeling, right? And they're keeping you in the past, right? And a lot of people aren't realizing where they're at right now because in the mainstream, dopamine they're dopamine surfing on social media and they're just like, oh, I want to do this workout. Oh, I want to do this plan. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. You're hopping from every single program and you're not understanding that you are the biggest program, right? So let's decrypt, let's decode the program of you. Let's understand who you are going into 2026, right? Let's let go of everything that's not serving us. Let's close these mental emotional loops and let's move in with power going into the year 2026. And let's make this the best year ever, you guys. The best year ever, right? Yeah. And with that, I'm going to close, right? I'm going to close because for me, I, I'm not just telling you guys this. This is stuff that I'm actively doing myself, right? So if I'm actively doing this myself and I'm coaching and I'm sharing this information with you guys, I just hope and I pray that you guys can understand, right? Not only understand, but also implement for the highest version of yourself, for your family, for your community, for your state, for your country, for your world, right? Because in a weird, unique way, we are all on this journey together, right? And when you start to realize how amazing and how powerful that you are, right? It'll start to have a ripple effect in other people's lives, right? Other people become more inspired by just your story, your life, right? And that same inspiration that you feel from hearing somebody else's story, right, is a direct correlation that change and transformation is going to happen in your life, okay? With dedicated iterations of actions to make sure that you become the person that you need to be to get that desired result, right? Be, do, have, right? You got to become the person first before you have what you want. So a lot of these things are preventable. But with that being said, everything is on universal divine cosmic timing. Everything's on God's timing, right? Nobody knows why God takes a newborn baby or someone that's super young, right? But for the people that are aware of this, for the people that are woke or awake and that can connect these these traumatic stories, right? To make a beautiful story out of it, right? To make something that can affect the masses, right? I think that's the beautiful thing about sharing an experience with someone's life, right? Having that story to share with somebody to get them back in alignment with the highest version of themselves. Because you're at the right place at the right time, right? You're here for a reason, right? You're supposed to be hearing this, right? Greatness is your birthright, right? You're supposed to have dominion over this land, right? You're supposed to have a great life, right? So don't get tripped up in the past of your past failures and your past mistakes. Use your past as a school, right? Use your past as a learning area to make sure that for one, you stay in alignment for who you are, and for two, it's just like you never make that same mistake again, right? And if you do, give yourself some grace. It's okay, right? But once you do, get back in alignment, right? Because we are going into not just the year 2026, we are going into a cycle called the age of enlightenment where people are more and more people are waking up to realizing how powerfully, right, how powerful they are, right? And when you start realizing this, you're going to understand like, wow, i've been playing I've been playing this game at 50% my whole entire life, right? But now with social media and now with the internet and just having all this knowledge, science, we're decrypting a lot of these things. And right now, science is converging with religion, right? And it will continue to do that within the coming years. And a lot more people are going to realize, like, wow, I understand exactly what I need to do to heal myself. I know exactly what to do to get the result that I need to get. I know exactly what to do to be embodied enough to understand that I need to do this, right? Not just for myself, but for my bloodline, right? I think a lot of kids my age or even younger, we tend to forget that we think it's just us, right? Because we don't have kids, right? But I have two. And I'll tell you right now, everything I'm learning, everything that I'm acquiring, I'm sharing. I'm sharing with my kids, to close that gap faster so there can be more peace, there can be more healing that takes place on this planet. We are all these cosmic kids traveling across this cosmic beautiful world, and for us to continue to light up each other, we have to make sure we light up ourselves, right? So if you guys found any value whatsoever out of this video, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to share, because the YouTube algorithm loves that. And this is a way that I can continue to show up and build my own personal wealth and also have a impact in people's lives that lasts for a lifetime, right? So if that's you, if you are out there and you got any value from this whatsoever, let me know. But until next time, my friends, I'll see you guys in the next video. Salute.